Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I would just like to address some questions that people have been raising about the latest dip in the stock market, such as how long is this going to be and is this part of a bigger dip that's coming? Because I've been seeing some bloggers on YouTube that's just spreading fear, and I think that's unnecessary at this point. And also because stock trading is something that I do as part of my life besides reading stories to all of you on this channel, because I've also shared some stock trading tips on this channel in the past. So, to look at the current dip, to see whether it's part of a bigger dip that's coming, or is this a prolonged dip that we're looking for. Let's just compare this to the dip in July and August of last year. So on the left, you see the dip now, and on the right, you're seeing the dip from last year. And this is just the software that I use to look at the trend in the stock as I trade now. So last year, before the dip, there were several first stage and second stage sell signals that warns us of a big dip that's coming. And indeed, it did. And at the bottom, there were two historic dip signals that tells us the end is near. And if you look at the dip now, to start with, there were no first stage and second stage sell signals. And several days into it, it tells us a third stage signal, and several days later, there was another one. So this tells me that this is a short term dip. And it certainly doesn't feel that way right now because it has been several weeks and there's no end in sight. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, this is nowhere near the magnitude that we have experienced in July of last year. So I don't know why people are panicking. And to sell your investments now, I don't think it's worth it because we have already seen this big dip for several weeks now. So if you haven't sold, I would hold on to your investments. And to answer the question of when the end is nearing, I would give it 2 to 3 days because I'm looking for this kind of buy signal, historic bottom buy signal, before we're seeing any sort of reversal of this trend, because we need the candlestick lines to cross and to be above these trend lines. So we need a strong buy force at the bottom to push the candlestick lines up. So we need something like this to appear in our charts before this downward trend is over. So I'll just give it several more days. We're looking at Friday, end of day, and next week, early part of next week. And you might be wondering whether today's upward trend is ending this thing and we're good. No, this is not over yet. It's nearing the bottom, but it's not over yet because, like I said, we didn't have this kind of strong buy signal at the bottom, and we're seeing this trend line being pulled down, and eventually this candlestick line is going to hit this trend line and it's going to reverse, and we're going to see another sell signal here, likely a third stage sell signal, and then we're going to see another downward trend, and we're going to see another bottom buy down here. And before that happens, this is not over yet. So don't look at today's upward trend as something that's going to end this whole fiasco. No, it's not. Let's just look at Nvidia and Tesla, and you'll see that it's going to be the same trend. So we're looking at the chart for NVIDIA now, and I know on the day chart, this looks like a trend reversal, right? But if you look at the 1 hour chart, this is a downward trend coloring block here. So we're just hitting the resistance level at the trend line right around here. So we're gonna have to see whether this can stay. But looking at the 3 minute chart, same as what I said before with QQQ, we need the first stage and second stage signals to buy or sell. And that is applying to all long term trend buys and sells. So, looking at the 3 minute chart, normally, if we have a reversal of trend and we want to buy at the beginning of the trend, you want to see the first stage buys and second stage buys. And um, here we're seeing right from the start a third stage buy. Let me just enlarge that so you can see clearly. So this is the third stage buy. So this tells me that this is a short-term thing on the 3 minute level. So tomorrow, I'm expecting to see a further dip down, even though on the day chart, this looks like a reversal of the trend. So I'll just give it couple more days to see whether this is indeed a reversal of this downward trend and we're seeing the end of this. Likely not. So let's see about Tesla. See here, you can see clearly a third stage sell on the 1 hour chart, even though this looks like a reversal of this long downward trend line all the way from December of last year. No, this is not. So tomorrow we will likely see a further downward trend on the 1 hour level, and then we'll likely see something to the effect of this kind of amount of buy, and then we'll likely see a reversal of the trend. So that's all. I hope this helps with your trade.